Okay, session is recording. Okay, so today's session is on facilitation, and yeah, let's have some beginning thoughts on uh, what does facilitation means, or what you think you would like to take from the session. So let's have a quick round. What does facilitation means to all of you? Yep. Any thoughts? Whatever you think, uh, whatever you have read, whatever you want, whatever.
Hello. Hi, Aditi. Good morning.
Good morning, Shilpa. Tell.
Yeah, facilitation, for me, I think it is more of guiding, uh, more of, helping and being a guide as a, person at the back end and
Okay. Yep.
helping, yeah,
Okay.
helping
Yep.
and guiding, taking it, giving it direction, maybe.
Okay. So yeah, we got three words: direction, helping, guiding. Yeah. Some more thoughts on what is facilitation? So next next two sessions, today's session and the Thursday session, both are on facilitation. We'll be exploring many more things about facilitation, but I think let's share what is in your mind. What is that you think you want from these two sessions?
Yeah. Aditi, am I audible?
Yeah, I can hear you. Though little feeble, but I think I can hear you.
Yeah, actually, for me, facilitation is letting something happen,
Okay.
and maybe a effort, but yes, letting something happen
Mm-hmm.
and let something happen. You know what? From this session, I need to be facilitated myself because mm, since last few weeks,
Uh-huh.
I learned lot many new things, but implementing it many times it happens that I have to think about my surroundings, maybe my husband or my peers or what will others say. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
my daughter, she doesn't want to go to school generally because she wants to sleep in the
Okay.
morning.
Okay.
So last month I said, okay, don't go. So she did not go for 2 3 days. And on the fourth day, she started shouting on me, you don't want me to learn, you don't want me to go to school. That's why you don't wake me up. I said, okay, it's your decision. You want to go? I will ask you in the morning. And if you say yes, then you get ready.
Mm-hmm.
So she has been saying yes, 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 I will go, I will go. Today again she started, I won't go, I want to sleep.
Okay.
But then I went into the panic mode because she has this last month and this month, but she has left, she has dropped 3 weeks. She did not go to school.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
went into, okay, again she won't go. So now I have told her that you will do whatever you want to do. So what
Mm-hmm.
I did, I took my husband. I said, okay, you go. He went on traditional parenting that you should go to school. So he went and talked and spoke to her. But then I understand that I shouldn't have done that. I should have given her the freedom. But still, there's something inside me which is holding me back
Okay.
to let me.
Okay, so beautiful. Thanks, Shishti, for sharing. We would be possibly exploring about this aspect of facilitation. What does the freedom means? Yeah. So, yeah, someone else, please. So, what does facilitation means to you? Where you think you have been using, if you have used somewhere, um, uh, as a parent, what role are you playing? How are you playing? Are you facilitator? Are you teacher? Are you parent? Or you switch roles? Or uh, what else are your beliefs about facilitation? Like Shishti shared that um, she used the word traditional parenting and uh, yep. So, Vaishali, anything you want to share?
Mm, Hi, I just joined in. I didn't hear actually. Just 1 second, I can join.
Okay. So we are. Yep.
Avinash.
Yes, Avinash.
Yeah, I think facilitation in context of whatever I have experienced is a catalyst in the entire group where he pitches in or he or she pitches in whenever the group requires motivation and higher benchmarks, which
Okay.
a group needs to keep on giving. And in context of being a parent, I think yes, we are the facilitators, and I play that role at home where I don't force in what Srishti was talking about, and we just enjoy the chemistry, being friends. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. Yep. Thanks, Avinash. I'll prefer everyone else to share because it helps in understanding what's there and how do I take the session forward. So you may be facilitating, you may think no, you are not facilitating, maybe you think you are a parent, you don't need to facilitate, or some other aspect like Avinash brought a different aspect of facilitated, possibly in a group, maybe possibly in a corporate or whatever working professional scenario where somebody is catalyst. So yeah, so let's have more thoughts on what is facilitation. Um, you can share something relevant, irrelevant, something out of context, whatever you think is facilitation means to you. Maybe you can share an incident, maybe you can share a word, whatever. So let's add up to the treasure which Shishti and Avinash has shared and Shilpa. Yep. Yeah.
Uh, Facilitation, basically, according to me, is where you are providing the resources. Basically, it could be the venue. If you are arranging a meeting as a facilitator, then it could be the venue. Then arranging for other, requirements like food and water and all the basic stuff. Apart from that, when it comes to the discussion part of it, basically keeping a check on the time, managing the time management,
Mm-hmm.
and when during discussions, like if somebody we see that he's you know basically trying to completely influence the discussion and others are not allowed to participate,
Okay.
so then ensuring an equal participation to others as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think these are the kind of roles. And if there are contingencies or emergencies,
Mm-hmm.
then taking care of them.
Yep. Okay.
Like for example, if you take kids out and all of a sudden it starts raining,
Okay.
so it's a context. So basically, what exactly you do that facilitation? That's okay.
Okay. Okay. So Kamal has added up a new aspect to the facilitation, resource provider in many different ways. Yep. Yep. Nandini, Neetu, Reena, Vaishali.
This is Nandini.
Yeah, Nandini.
Facilitation to me means creating an environment where a child gets self-motivated to learn new things and basically child gets motivated to learn.
Okay.
When my kid was 1 year or 1.5 years old, I used to uh, rotate toys. Like I never used to keep the toys, all the toys in the same place. Uh, Give only 2 or 3 toys and rotate it
Mm-hmm.
on regular basis. And I used to create new toys like creating a hole in a box and keeping a few balls and big ball, bigger one, smaller one. So he used to check which ball goes inside, which doesn't go inside. So these kind of things I used to do.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes we never again used to get interested in whatever I have created
Mm-hmm.
uh, like that. So now he is 4 years old. Now he only asks, Mama, that was there. No, you give me that. I give that.
Okay.
Although I don't keep all the toys together at his place. Uh, for me, I'm a bit confused here actually.
Ah,
I mean, what to give? I mean, what is the right time to give what thing? And so I'm confused here. I want
okay.
to know more about this.
Yeah. So thanks, Nandi. Beautifully, you shared that possibly one of the role which facilitator, as per you, uh, play role is the create environment. In your case, you shared that you have been doing it by creating or possibly bringing different toys as a different resources. Yep. Thanks, Nandini. Yep. It helps. Yeah. Anyway. So Vaishali, Ritu, the one who have just joined in to update you, we're just sharing all of us what does facilitation means to you, and yeah, next two sessions are on facilitation. So as a parent, as a teacher, as a facilitator, as a guide, as a manager, or whatever role you play in different ways, what does facilitation means to you? And you don't need to be perfect, you don't need to be completely there. What facilitation is possibly, that's where we'll all discover in this session as we move ahead. So just come up, open up, say some silly things, say some relevant things, say some irrelevant things.
Hey, hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, is it Vaishali?
So, yeah,
Yes, yes, Vaishali.
so I just love the cartoon on the screen.
Okay.
So awesome. And yeah, confuser is one of the roles that a facilitator has to play, I guess.
Oh, okay, okay, fine. This is Vaishali from the previous. I thought a new participant has come. Yep. Okay. Thanks, Vaishali, for sharing. Yep. I'm waiting for Bashpika, uh, Nandini, Reena, Ritu to share. Vaishali just added a word called confuser uh, to add little masala to what this cartoon is adding up. Okay, so let me move ahead. Uh, what you need to do is while some of you are still thinking what facilitation is, and I'm still waiting to, and the group is still waiting to get benefit from your thoughts on what is facilitation is all about. Meanwhile, what you can do is you can just collect six, seven objects from your surrounding, maybe a pen, paper, whatever you see, you can just pick and collect it. Um, if you don't get anything, just get something from kitchen, something from your cupboard, something, anything. Just a quick uh, collection of 6 to 7 objects, article, whatever. Just bring those things. And once you are there, with just type in the chat window, indicate to me that you all are there, ready with your objects. Okay, so let's move ahead. There's a picture uh, on the slideshow, on the screen, basically. And what you have to do is you have to reproduce this whatever you're seeing using your objects on your table or side table, wherever you find a surface. So you're a doer in this case. You're doing it, and once you are done with, means you have made it, just type in the chat window that you are done. So to repeat, what you have done is you have collected 6, 7 objects around you, and now using those objects, you are um, recreating this picture. Um, with the shapes or things which you have collected. And once you are done, just type on the chat window. Yep, no issue, Ritu. Whatever you can, whichever form you can make it. Okay, so some of you have done, some of you are still doing. So be aware what's going in your mind, what are you thinking, what you need, what you want. Okay, so so quickly, I would like you to possibly note down in your notebook um, what is that you're thinking right now, what is that is going in your mind, and what is that you need, what is that you want as a doer. So just take a minute to document your thoughts and then we'll move ahead. And if you're done with that, uh, so now you have to step out of a doer. Till now you were a doer who were doing something. Um, So now imagine that you are the facilitator and there is a child who is doing this activity, who is recreating the picture with the shapes, um, the objects which the child has collected or you have collected. It doesn't matter. So how would you like to facilitate this child? So what all you will do to facilitate this child? So yeah, quickly make 5-6 points. How will you facilitate this child? And once you are done with your thought, or once you are facilitated this child, maybe you can just type on the chat window that you're done, so we can move ahead. So my instructions are clear. You have to now facilitate a child who's doing this. So the first you were a doer, you did it by yourself, and kind of you were a child who was doing something. Now you are switching the roles and you're becoming the facilitator to a child who's doing this. Now, how will you facilitate this child? What would you like to do? Once you're done with compilation of your thoughts, just type on the chat window. You can type F for that you have facilitated this child. Okay, so I'd like now to invite each participant to share what all ways you facilitated this child or what all you have done to facilitate this child. Yep. So let's share. Yeah, Shrishti.
Yes, actually, what I would do to facilitate is I would make the objects available and then I would sit with the child. That's all.
Okay. So what you did, yeah. So who is Shrishti? I think your voice is not clear.
I said I would just sit with the child and make the I would make the objects available and then just sit with the child and watch.
Okay. That's what you put it in your. That's how you facilitated in the second round.
Yes.
Okay. Fine. Yeah. Someone else, please share. Is my voice clear?
This is Nandini.
Yeah, Nandi.
It is breaking actually. Uh, yeah. When I was doing it, I had no, whatever things I had collected, it was not in circle or triangle shape, uh, or either rectangle or the stick shape. um, I couldn't recreate the exact shape. So I thought I would give different cardboard, I mean, cut from the cardboard, different shapes like circle, rectangle, triangle, and I would ask the child to create whatever he wants, not just this one.
Okay. Anything else you did while you were facilitating this child?
Yeah, cutting the cardboard sheets in different shapes and keeping it in a tray maybe.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Nandini. Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, Ritu.
Hello?
Yes.
Okay, you can hear me. Um, yeah, so I would ask the child to collect 6, 7 objects of different kinds, hopefully, um, and then provide the picture just like you did and ask the child to recreate the picture. And I would wait till it's done and I would ask if the child is happy with what it's done or
Okay.
is it completed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and what does the how does the picture he's created match with the picture which is given?
Okay.
And if he thinks if he needs something more, or if he's happy with what he's done, and
Okay.
ask more what and how questions.
Share more. What would you do?
Um, because I was feeling I had not collected the right kind of objects. I was hoping I had more variety of objects rather than
Mm-hmm.
like Nandini was saying,
Mm-hmm.
not the right shapes or something, or not malleable objects, objects which I could reshape or stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping maybe I had strings or sticks or stuff like
Okay.
that.
Okay.
I would ask the child if it would like to collect a few more objects to complete the picture.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I mean, if the child is happy and completed and done, then it's
Done.
it's tough to, yeah.
Okay.
But then if they feel that they want to do something more, then it's easier to make them think. So about facilitation, I earlier I mean, probably when I had my child first, I used to think to facilitate learning or anything would be to answer every question the child asks. Probably that was the idea I had, because I didn't have anybody to ask questions to and have answers to, as both my parents were working.
Okay.
But slowly I realized that when a child is asking something, it is just thinking aloud.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I realized from a lot of reading and all that, that, you need to encourage that thinking rather than just give an answer and put a stop to the thinking.
Okay. So in this case, how would you like to facilitate?
By asking more questions, asking more, how is this picture matching with the thing, and how would the child like to make it more complete?
Okay.
Or with whatever objects are available itself, can it rearrange them and try
Mm-hmm.
to make it more uh, more a match to the given picture? Is there a way to restart again, to jumble everything up and start over again, and
Okay. Yeah.
things like that?
Yeah. Thanks, Ritu. Thanks for sharing. Yep. Uh, Nandini, Shilpa, Avinash, Kamal. Let's have some more thoughts on how did you facilitate this child who was making this picture, or rather recreating this picture.
Hello.
Yeah, sure.
Uh, yeah. What I did was I uh, first told the child what needs to be done,
Uh-huh.
and then uh, since the objects first, tell him to collect a few objects, then show him the picture, and then tell that you have to recreate this. And then let the child do it. I would just be an observer, observing the child, what and how he is doing it. And then, as Ritu mentioned, just, I would also ask a few questions. How does he feel about the picture that he's created? Does he want to add something? Does he want to still go around and find objects which would, help him uh, make his, if he would like to add a picture. I mean, if he would like to add something to it, and then ask his views as to, how does he feel? Is it complete? Is it looking the same? And yeah, that is how I would
Okay. Yep. Thanks, Shilpa.
go about it.
Thanks, Shilpa. Yeah. Uh, so waiting for Avinash Kamal to share. Just one.
Yeah, Aditi.
Yep.
Avinash. I think in place of facilitator, when this thing is new, I think I will be a doer also, where I will collect my own objects. He will collect his ones, and I will actually create my own shapes. And whatever is given to him, he will also try and imitate it. And then we'll have fun with those. Where I will also be a doer, but in context of this, the way Shilpa was saying, the what questions, and I will ask him whether I'm going right, I am going right or not, and then he continuously corrects me in that process, and he also continues doing it
Okay.
on his own shape. That is how I will actually inculcate and get involved for some time, and then I will proceed. Just be a facilitator and see how he proceeds.
Okay. Yep. Thanks, Avinash. It helps. Yeah. Kamal, would you like to share?
Probably I would, bring a bucket of lots of different shapes, and what I'll basically I'll sit with the child and start doing something myself so that even he can do it. But that step would be an not a necessary one. I may or may not do it. I might just show him this picture and tell him that you have all the things in front of you. Can we make something like this using the different shapes that we have? So probably
Okay. Okay. Just 1 minute.
and also maybe some crayons I'll
Okay.
provide him.
Okay.
Because I want him to be creative with it. That if he's not able to find a particular shape, he might make it with a crayon or something like that.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I would not tell him as to what is my objective. I would just give these two things to him and let him know that this is a picture that we can create.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Kamal. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, everyone, for sharing. That helped me to move ahead. I'll take a minute pause. Priya, you want to share something? Okay. I'll take a minute pause. I think some kids need my attention. Yeah. Uh, Drupad, you need something? Yep. Okay. So, yeah, where we were. Yep, facilitating chat. Okay, so before we discuss more about the facilitation, let's go back to let's go back to you as a doer when you were doing and when you were recreating this picture as a child. When I say doer, means you were somebody who was doing it. And did you really need someone to do something for you. For example, if you didn't have the appropriate shape, did you really need someone to give you the appropriate shape? Or you could have, if suppose we had more time, or if we had um, all the resources open, do you think you really needed someone to give you the shapes? Do you think you really needed someone to tell you how to recreate it? Uh, uh, did anyone feel any need of of somebody to facilitate you while you were doing that thing? Yeah. So did anyone feel any need as a doer that you needed someone to tell you how it is, someone to show you how to make it, someone to choose the material for you, um, someone to assist you in recreating, or someone to assist you in finding the objects, uh, uh, to do the basic recreation? I'm guessing more or less that whatever I heard and whatever I'm seeing in the chat window is that um, as a doer, I really didn't need a facilitator, right? So we didn't need, so we were not required. As a facilitator, did I need to do anything? I mean, instructions were there, recreate it, collect the object. If the collect objects were not there, at best, if there is a confusion, can I take more or can I take more time, and all those logistic instructions, I was not really required out there. And most of the time, when child is doing something, child knows something, child doesn't need us, we don't need the child. But it's a different thing that we want to do something, right? Is that what our job? And we decide to do something. Um, so we want to do it. We want to value add it. Maybe we want to provoke thinking. Maybe we want to take it in a different direction. Um, so as such, we are not required, but we want to do it. Whether the child wants us or no, it's a question mark. We really don't know. Child needed us. That is clear. The child didn't need us. Child wanted us to add value, to listen to him, to be there. So that is it's something. I guess I will leave it to the situation that does the child want it. Uh, so what does this overall exercise tells us is that when a child is doing something, child doesn't need anything. I mean, I mean to say, child doesn't need us. Child doesn't need a facilitator. Um, so what about that? What about going with the thought that we are not required? Does that make any sense? That we are jobless now. We are not required. So when I say that I'm not required and I'm jobless, what does this thought does to us is that what this thought is, it's to me personally is very liberating. It's very, it makes me free from my own worries that it's my responsibility to do something for the child. If I'm not there, child will not learn. If I'm so I change my perspective, that even if I'm not there, even if I'm not, the child will learn. Uh, Child will learn from whatever is available in the environment. In this case, the shapes are there, more shapes are available in the environment. Even if the more shapes are not available in the environment, child will create something, make something, break something, twist something, and then and then just go ahead with the learning and recreating the shape. Uh, so in any situation when I'm there, I'm not required. And when I go with that thought that I'm not required, it really takes off a lot of pressure from my head that oh yeah, it's so relieving that I don't need to carry that burden on my head that I'm responsible for child's learning, and if I don't give my things to the child will not learn. And yep. So how is that thought makes you feel that you're not required? Even if you're not, the child will learn. So what does that thought makes you feel? Does it makes you feel horrified or relieved or confused or so how does it feel to think that I'm not required? So I'm free from my responsibilities of being a teacher, a facilitator, um, guide, supporter, catalyst. All those roles are my wants. Those roles are not child's needs. So hence I'm free.
Yeah, this is
Yeah, Shilpa.
yes. Actually, it's sometimes confusing. Sometimes I don't know. Since last 2 months, every day my daughter comes back home from school. She has her lunch and then she sits watching television. And then she goes out to play. After coming back, she talks with us. She reads some books, story books with me, and then she goes to sleep. I don't tell her even once that you should take out your school books, you should study. We, my husband and me also, when we were small, we used to study every day. Every day we were told, you sit for studies, 1 hour at least, study should be done. But now I don't tell her. I don't tell her, I've stopped telling her. It has happened, of course, from after the empowerment session. I have stopped telling her. I thought that if she feels the need, okay, she will study. So I left her. But yesterday, the Olympiad form came, and then she said, I would like to attempt EVS and English. I said, go and attempt for everything. She said, no, I don't want math. Plus is fine, but minus I am not comfortable. I make mistakes. So I won't go for math. Then again, I did not say anything. I said, okay. But then I had a thought in my mind, is it right? Am I doing the right thing, not making her study every day at home? What is right? What should I do? Am I doing my duty?
Yeah, okay. So let me share more about the concept of
I
duty.
can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
You're not audible.
Can others hear me? Can you hear me, Shrishti, now? Okay. Shrishti, you need to mute your mic so my voice is clearer. Okay, so uh, I didn't say that. Okay, yeah. So this duty part, is that my duty to do something? Then I have a different perspective, because when I have up to perform a duty, I have expectations and I have my role defined for that duty, and a lot of belief system plays role in that, that this is what parents told to ensure this kind of a thing. I'm saying, if I ask you like you did in this exercise, is that so when child was doing, or when you were doing as a child, you didn't need somebody to say something to you, somebody to make you do something, somebody to tell you to put triangle here and the circle here. So the duty part is liberating, that okay, if I take off that it's not my duty, but it's my want to facilitate. Possibly that's what we will discuss or explore in this session, is that so Shrishti, I'm not talking about that not facilitating the child at all. So what I can hear in your case is that no facilitation is happening. Um, Empower means, I mean, there are different roles which we play as facilitator. There was a presentation sent as a pre-preparation, that okay, what are the different roles of facilitator. So the moment I put a facilitation in one frame, I'm controlling myself, I'm constraining myself. So I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is, and that's what we will discover, is that so let's work with that perspective, that the child doesn't need us. Child doesn't need to facilitate, to be facilitated, but it's our want that we want to facilitate. So it's our need which we are going with the child. So I guess if you try thinking about it, that uh, I'm not required here, somebody don't need me, but I want to be there. And when I want to be there, then how do I operate, what is that I do so I create value, rather than how do I operate? Means when I go with the thought that the child need me, I operate differently because I'm a helper there. I think that the child doesn't know much. Child need my support. Child need my help. Maybe child need to help recreate this, or maybe child need the help to go to school, or maybe the child need the help to do his homework. So I'm more of out of sympathy, or out of my I'm supporting the child, or maybe as simple as that the child need my support to say, yeah, it's looking good, or to decide whether the picture is complete or not. But if you change that role, that okay, child don't need me for any of those things, but it's my want. I want to create a learning environment. I want to facilitate the child. And when you start thinking from that perspective, that I want to facilitate the child, possibly all those things which we have been doing in the name of facilitation, we are helping them, we are guiding them, we are answering their questions, we are maybe not questioning them, maybe we are not agitating them, maybe we are not challenging them. Uh, uh, we may start doing that, because as a helper, as a guide, as a answer provider, child doesn't need me, so I'm jobless in that front. So if we start taking out our job from helper, a guide, a facility, or an encyclopedia for the child, chances are that we'll start thinking at a higher level of facilitation, that okay, fine, I'm not required here, so all this job is done by the child, I'm required somewhere else. And we'll start facilitating the child, rather than helping the child. So am I there, am I there with all of you? uh, So often, when we think that okay, in this case, like some of you thought that child is anyway doing is, I will be only sitting there and observing. So possibly, Shishti, in your case, you're doing that. You're actually not doing anything, and just observing. So you're not adding value. So whatever the child is able to think, decide, or whatever makes sense out of going school, not going school, which subject to choose, which whatever the child have assessed herself on the maths, or whichever topic, child has already done it. But now possibly you need to facilitate, because you want to facilitate. You need to facilitate at the higher level, because all these levels child is not required. But most of the time our parenting, or our teaching, or our facilitating is, I say, is the entangled into these very basic things, because they think we are required there. But if you realize that we are not required there at that stage, because that much the child is capable of doing, so then why are we wasting our time in something which the child is not required? Child is capable of thinking, child is capable of doing, child is capable of making, child is, once the child knows that this is what work I have to do, child is doing and going ahead, and I'm not required. But if you go back to your facilitation when you were facilitating the child who was making this picture, we were doing most of the thing which child is child is anyway capable of doing it. So something else as a facilitator, as so we need to dig deep into facilitation and understand that what is that facilitator's role is, because all those things which we have been talking about is child is capable of doing it. Yep. So am I there? Uh, am I there with you? I would like, yeah, someone, Shishti, you want to share more about um, what facilitation means to you, what facilitation you are doing to your child apart from not saying anything to her or following, waking her up whenever she wants. Okay, yeah, I would like some of you to respond to what we have talked about till now, because it's important, and it's important to understand that the role which we are playing is not required. So possibly we have to look for another job. So the job which we are doing right now doesn't need us, so we are jobless. So now it's time to look for something else. Yeah. So am I there with you? What are you thinking?
Aditi, Shilpa here.
Yeah, Shilpa.
Yeah, I am a bit confused now. Uh, uh, when the thought, when I think about it this way, that yes, and at all these levels, yes, it is my need, and it is not the child's need. So I'm able to connect to that thought. But then the, somewhere there is a fear that you know if fear of the child doing something wrong,
Mm-hmm.
wrong in the sense, wrong in the sense while doing something activity, while doing something that is okay, but when it comes to making decisions and uh, things like that, which will actually uh, bring in cause an impact on the child's where the security and all those things are concerned. So there is a fear that if my child takes into the wrong direction, takes a things
Yeah.
like that. So somewhere that fear is also there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So then in that case, I mean, I don't know. I'm just a bit confused. Uh,
Yeah, so I think whether it's a behavior issue, whether it's a learning issue, whether it is a security issue, can we just understand a very basic thing that there are certain things child is capable of doing it. So we are not required that, like in this case, to recreate this picture or to collect the objects or to complete the picture. We as when you were doing it, you didn't need that, or even when you take any decision, just think about that at what stage you need someone's help. When you're taking the decision that okay, I don't want to go to school, or when you're taking the decisions that I don't want to go to TTT session today, where do you need the help from someone? And if you start constantly thinking that okay, where do I need help? Do I need help in somebody to little agitate me, somebody to little push me? I'm not doing my sessions, I'm not reading much out of my laziness, or I'm not reading because I don't think it's not required, I'm not reading because it's not valuable to me, I'm not doing certain things. And what will help me to come out of my current status? So what's the role of the facilitator? Role of the facilitator is to tell you to go to school, or to show you that what are the good things in school, which possibly you as a child is already aware that what are the benefits of going to school, or what are the not benefit of going to the school. There are certain things, there are certain whatever basic intelligence, based on that you have taken the decision. Now, so now once you take the decision, uh, what is it you want the facilitator to do? You want the facilitator to do the same thing which you're already capable of doing it. Like in this case, when you were making the picture, did you want anyone to interfere with you to make something, to collect the shape for you, or the very basic things which you have already done? Did you need that? And when imagine at every aspect of your life, when you start doing it, and somebody is, in the name of facilitations, in the name of parenting, in the name of helping, is constantly taking that ownership from you and taking on onto themselves, and then say, okay, see, look, I will tell you how to learn this, I will tell you how to decide on this, I will tell you whom to play with, I will tell you whom to do this. And uh, and then what will happen to you? After a few months, after a few years, you will start believing that, yep, whenever I need something, whenever I need to do something, I need someone to help me, I need someone to guide me, I need someone to kind of decide for me. mm, so is that really a facilitation? So the whole point is that there are certain things which a child or anybody is capable of doing it, right from the making this picture to taking decision whether to go to school or not go to school. But there are certain areas where I need facilitation. Maybe I need to open up my thinking in a many different ways, and that's where the facilitator role comes. So the first role of the facilitator comes, possibly we can, if we come back to this picture and then try to analyze that, where did we all start making this picture? Where did we all start facilitating the child? We started, means whatever I heard, whatever you shared, that the facilitation started right from the making of the picture, that okay, the shapes are there, the size is there, are the appropriate shapes or not. So what I want you to do is go back to this picture, and I need little participation, if you are there. uh, 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 your mic's on, your attention there. A little participation to now explore about the facilitation. So when you were there, when you started facilitating, not making, but when you started facilitating, where did you start? What was the first thought in your mind?
The first thought which came to me actually was, for this activity, does he require a facilitation? Okay, and then what I could think of is, like, we went and we brought some objects.
Yeah. So wait,
Rather, if
wait,
we are,
Kamal. Yeah, wait, Kamal. So you started with object. There is something. Can you go back to before object? What is that you can see in this? Can you go back to um, before the objects?
before the object, I thought that, is there any facilitation required
Yeah,
for
yeah,
this?
yeah, yeah. So Kamal, will not talk about that. What I'm talking about is that you said you started with the objects or the shape. Okay. Can you
Yeah.
see something before that? Can you see a stage before that? So I would like to little push you to go back. Uh,
Yeah. I thought, to make this shape, what all would be required?
okay. So Kamal, whether you thought or now you're thinking, it's okay.
No, no, no.
So
I thought.
so what shape? I'm now talking about as a facilitator. Where did you start as a facilitator? I'm assuming, based on your conversation, that you started with the shape, right? Is that so?
Yeah, I started with this, that
Shape,
what he has to do.
what he has to do, and then so before that, Can you think of something else? I mean, others can help Kamal in thinking as a facilitator that where can I go back? What else can I do apart from the shape? Before I start with the shape, what is that I can do?
Okay, can maybe we ask the child, can we play a new game today? Let's play a new game today or something
No,
like that.
no, I'm there. I'm there with in the drawing only.
Okay.
So as a facilitator, I can see something before I start with the shape. So what is that we can start with the shape here? Means before we start with the shape. Yeah, so when you started facilitating, some of you decided not to say something. Some of you wanted to collect the object. Some of you wanted to give an appropriate shape, so with a box of shapes, kind of a material. I'm saying as a facilitator, I want you to okay, I just want to give you an example. If anyone knows about the sushi dish, it's a Japanese dish. Does anyone know about the sushi? Sushi slices, they are called. Uh, Anyone has experienced eating sushi slice or heard or saw or whatever? Okay, so basically, if you can Google it later after the session. So Shrishti, correct me if I'm not because I've not seen it, I've not eaten up, I've only heard and read about it. Is that when I so the sushi slices are cut very very thin. They're cut so thin that you can actually eat raw. As Ritu is saying, you can eat it raw fish. And one of the thing which they do to ensure that you can eat it raw is that they cut it very 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 thin slices. So what we will do is we will cut sushi slices for our facilitation. So what we begin with the shape is I consider is a lump of fish which I cut in a big piece and I give it to the child. Okay, so let's cut little slices. Let's go back before I start with the shape. So let's help all of us. Let's come up with something which we can before we start with the shape. What is that we can do back?
Actually, Aditi, you never showed us a picture before. You asked us to collect the objects, and then you showed us a picture.
Okay, yeah. So I'm not talking to you about as a child how you did it. I'm saying as a facilitator where you started facilitating the child. Remember the second stage of the activity was that now you are a facilitator and you are making the child whatever. Now there's a child who is doing and you're facilitating. So we are cutting slices on facilitation, not on doing. As a doing, you did a experience that as a doer you didn't need a facilitator.
This is Nandini.
Yeah, Nandini.
When I thought myself as facilitator, the immediate thought that came to me was whatever materials were there is not appropriate, so I should make the child the environment very easy,
Okay, so
where he
Nandini,
can do things.
yeah. So Nandini, again,
And it is my responsibility.
is it your responsibility? Really?
That's what I thought actually.
Okay, so
It is
now,
my responsibility to make the environment
so what
very appropriate.
yeah, so Nandini, what I'm saying is whatever you thought as a facilitator when you were doing as a when you were facilitating, let's forget about that. Let's now start fresh and let's start looking at the picture as a facilitator. Now, what all? How can you go back? Uh, can you see the background? Can you see the color? Can you see the combination that there are two combinations? So can I start facilitating from the background? Can I start facilitating the child from the posture which the body is making. Can I experience it? As Kamal said, I'll play some games. Maybe the play, maybe the do the posture, like what's this and that, and then feel it before I get into the shape. Can I see that? Can I talk more about this picture? What is that person would be? Can I talk about the feeling that the picture is maybe the depicting? Can I ask the child what it is looking? A girl or a boy or a mother or father or whatever? What do you think? What is that little tweak on the circle is doing to this whole picture? If I remove this, then how will you know what is a girl or a boy? Can I also maybe bring more pictures? Maybe somebody, maybe a child might already know that it's a Varlik painting. Maybe the child may not know this is a Varlik painting. Can I go back that how somebody would have started seeing the shapes in a body and started depicting the shapes mm, out here? Um, uh, can I ask the child that, okay, fine, forget about seeing the picture, forget about the shapes, keep the objects right now aside. So let's start from maybe only the let's start seeing the shapes in the background. Can you see some shapes in the yellow color? The concept of negative and positive. So right now, first we saw the picture. Now I'm saying, don't look at the picture. I'm saying, look at the background and what shapes do you see in the background? Can I make the child think beyond what the child is thinking right now? Uh, so uh, before I start bang onto the doing, can I stimulate the child in many different ways? Can I bring more resources as more resources, not only onto the shape? Can I bring a picture? Can I bring some books which has a Varley painting? Can I bring some pictures which already has some stick pictures? Can I think of something? Can a video or a book or a resource or I only stand up like that and then say that, is it that matching? Are you making model of me or you're making the model of the picture? So what I'm saying is that to recreate this simple picture using the shapes, is child capable of doing it? But what is that my role out here is that a little go beyond what is little obvious, uh, what is not there, what is that the child is not doing naturally, and can I little agitate the child as the first, can I little confuse the child and say, no, this how is it a girl or it's a boy? No, I don't think it's a girl, I don't think it's a boy. What makes it looks like a girl? What makes the proportions like this? So can I little more do stimulation before I get into making thing? Because to make, to do, you really didn't need me in the beginning. You as you realize that nobody needed anybody to just recreate this picture. So like, yeah, so are you there with me when we are talking about what role a facilitator can play um, when we know that we are not required but we want to be there? Yep.
Aditi, am I audible?
Yeah, I can hear you, Shrishti.
Yeah, actually, are you talking about motivation? Because sometimes when I look at my daughter, I feel that yes, I'm not motivating her right, maybe. Are you talking about that?
What
When
is
she lies down whole day and then she play, maybe I'm not motivating her.
yeah, Shrishti? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about motivation actually. Maybe that's what my daughter requires.
So am I
Although
motivating
she
you?
doesn't do anything.
So am I motivating you when I'm talking about different backgrounds? I'm talking about the picture, the shape,
My
the
daughter says I'm not interested in putting up this picture. Why should I do it?
pardon.
I want to what if my daughter says that I don't want to recreate this picture? What's the use and why should I do it?
Ha ha. I think for that we have done many other sessions that where is the me in it and then how will the child do it. So we have covered that in the previous sessions. We are not talking about that. Uh, how do I bring me in this child? That so assuming here that the child, like all of you were eager to do it. None of you said I don't want to do it. I'm feeling lazy about it. So you all wanted to do because you thought maybe something after doing this, Aditi will give some gyan or whatever. There's some insight behind it. So we'll get something to know about facilitation. So assuming all this is done in previous sessions, so we are done with that. That all of you are eager to do it. All of you want to, and very nicely, very nice students, very nice children. You all did it. You all did it sincerely, quickly got the objects and then made something. Isn't it that you all were there? Did anyone ask? Did anyone say, why should I do it? No, no. We are not there. So Srishti, we have covered all that in the previous session that what if a sub child doesn't want to do? How do I understand where the child is coming from? So in this session, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about purely facilitation that can I look at my role that first of all the realization that I'm jobless and I'm not required to do something what the child is doing right now here. So now how do I create my value for my job so I'm not losing my job as a teacher, as a parent, as a facilitator? So how do I facilitate? Because there's no point of doing something which a child can already do. Child can already recreate this picture. I'm not required. As you experienced when you were recreating, you didn't need anything else apart from the shapes which also you could have taken by yourself and then recreated. You didn't need me. Where so how do I create my value? I create my value by doing something else. So one of the ways to create value is that possibly I make you think in different ways about this picture itself. Maybe so I think in all different multiple intelligence way that how do I bring value to doing this what the child is not obviously seeing it or what the child is obviously not doing it. Maybe the child herself will bring the crayons. I don't need to bring crayons. Child will go out in the nature and bring some sticks. I don't need to bring those things. Child, if you go back and then do this anything with the children, they themselves are full of ideas that okay, I want to do this, I want to do this, I can make this, I can create this, I can make it. This is my proportion. I know that is the picture is complete or not. All those things. If the child is already done, I'm not required. Apart from either just sitting there or giving the instructions, clean up after the exercise is done, or maybe a little praise the child. Oh, okay, fine, very nice, very beautiful, you have done it. Or to correct the child that this is not is done and this shape is not there. Can I go beyond all these roles and then do something different, do something challenging for myself also because it's very challenging. We are not used to of expanding our own thinking first of all, and then in turn we are not expanding our children's thinking. So uh, I'm all talking about is that creating value by my facilitation. So not do something which is not required. Does that make any sense?
Hello, Aditi.
Yeah, Shilpa, I can hear you.
Yeah. Uh, but as a facilitator, now how would I come to know that the child doesn't need me and it is my want to be there? I mean, we are so used to doing everything at every thinking that we are helping the child, we are guiding the child. So how would I you know wh- how would I come to know that this is where it is my need and not the child's? I mean,
So you tell now, when you were making the picture, where you needed the facilitator.
yeah, I didn't need any facilitation when I was doing it.
You didn't need any facilitation. So how do I come to know that you needed, you have not covered this aspect of looking at this picture?
Sorry, I didn't get
So
that.
how, as a facilitator, you will come to know, or possibly how did okay, if you go back to the whole process, what we did in the session is that we begin with that, okay, what is that you know about the facilitation? Okay, does that gives me any idea as a facilitator? Okay, these are the things which you already know, I don't need to cover about all those things. Then when you're making the picture, then again we discussed about, so how did you make this picture? So you some of you said we started with shape, and we were thinking how, get another shape, and also so it gives me the indication that I'm not required there. Okay. So I thought it would be easy to tell you that get something which is flexible, make shapes, get sticks and all that, but you didn't need me. So I had to do some harder work, and then I had to think more. I have to go back to all my other session and say, okay, can I bring MI in this? Can I bring thinking in this? Can I bring different resources in it? So then my job starts, and then suppose now I bring the resource for you. You say, no, I know Varli painting. I'm not required to introduce Varli painting to you because you already know about it. I'll introduce to you that, okay, now there are different background style, because I can already see there is a black and there is a white. There's two colors in it. Okay, fine. I'm not required out there. So can I think constantly something new, and keep presenting to the child? And if you do that, means I have been doing it for a long time with children, and then I realized that I present 10 different resources to the children, and I feel I've done great job, and I've collected lots of resources, lots of things for children. I've thought through different things, and then out of that, sometime all 10 they reject and then say we don't need it, or sometimes they take one or two and they say, okay, this idea looks fine, I can do it, I would like to do it, and kind of thing. um, so when I'm free from my responsibility, that it's not my responsibility, the child will do the basic job. Now my job starts, because I want to secure my job, I don't want to be jobless. So I start thinking hard in many different ways. So one of the thing, I guess, my assumption is that we don't think hard because we think that our job is not to think hard. Our job is to make child think hard, number one. Our job is to make child do things, number two. And number three, our job is to help the child, because the child is helpless. If you ask me, if we take out all these three things from our system, maybe we will start working on ourselves. And when we start working on ourselves, we'll start adding value to the child's uh, doing, learning, life, and many different things. So does that make sense, Shilpa, or I was too fast in my flow of thoughts?
Yeah. So actual work is with myself first.
So I think I have to constantly redefine my role. I have to, as possibly Shrishti, what you were saying, that what do I do now? Means, and I think that's where the job starts. When I start thinking more, when I start thinking differently, when I start uh, creating different opportunities, and coming out of these traditional or conventional methods of helping the children, because we know that many of them children don't need, like if you ask me, does any child need how to operate mobile? You give mobile to 4-year-old child, after a few days they learn how to operate mobile. You give book to the child, after a few days, few months, they will figure it out by themselves, how to read and write and how to do things with that. uh, but we are not ready to come out of that, our beliefs or our whatever the comfort zone, I would say that, okay, no, I'm there and that's where the child needs me. And we are somewhere we are failing to add value in children's life, and we're fine with the flowing with the thought that, okay, whatever I feel is the right, and then I want to go ahead with it. So whether it is Shishti, if it is something to do with child not going to school, so you tried something. And now did you try many different ways? Did you try making child think in many different ways? Did you little agitate the child? Did you push the child? Did you try, as we say, is that did you do it in 250 ways rather than just staying with one, that okay, fine, not going, don't go, or you tell me I'll wake you up, and then when you're not getting up, then what? So I'm saying maybe you tried one time, two times, 3 ways, 10 ways, 7 ways, whatever. Try 250 ways and then see how it is work. What happens is that, so there are two things which I'm talking about. Is the one is that let's redefine our role. Our role is not to help the child, because the child is capable of helping himself. our um, our role is also not to take responsibility of child's learning, child's behavior on our head. Once we are out of this role, I'm sure we'll be able to see, we'll be able to see our role, redefined role in many different ways, and that's where, um, can you hear me now? Is my voice clearer now? Okay. So let's redefine our role, and I guess that's very challenging, that's very agitating, that's very frustrating sometime. And by the time you reach 20th session in TTT, and that's the stage you are in, and that's where we start doing the work. Yep. Am I there? Anybody has any thoughts or just want to share? So, yeah, so let's share what you're thinking right now, what you're feeling right now, what you're wanting to do apart from the break.
Yes, Aditi, it's very challenging, and or already my yes, yes, already my brain has started working on many different options. Well, I'm not coming on. Well, I'm not getting a solution, but still, I know I have to think a lot. How to motivate, well, how to stimulate her, maybe stimulation,
Okay.
or I don't know. I need to think a lot over this.
Yeah, so I think all of us, that's why I'm emphasizing again and again that if we take out the first part from our role, our list of roles, that it's not my duty, it's not my responsibility, I'm not required. Believe me, the moment you take that thought from your or possibly the role from your role list, you'll be much more free. You'll be much more, I would say, is that open for experimentation, open for options, when you are not running behind a solution, and when you're not operating from a huge burden on your head, that okay, this is what your responsibility as a parent, as a facilitator, to teach the child, because the child is capable of doing it. You're not required that. So let's come out of this role. Let's come out of this shell that, okay, you're required. If you don't do anything, child will not be, nothing will happen. Just say that it's for my pleasure, it's for my engagement as a parent, as a facilitator. I'm playing the role, and when I'm playing the role, I'm free to play in many different ways. Sometimes I play, sometimes I laugh, sometimes I agitate, sometimes I push the child, and I'm relaxed, and I'm go back to relaxing session, that everything is all right, everything is fine, everything is going to happen. uh, and then start facilitating, then start looking your role in 250 different ways. Yep. uh, it's 11:35. Shall we take a 10 minutes break and come back with some more thoughts on facilitation? And so we'll meet at 11:45. गए क्या ये लोग? Okay, I'm back. If you're back, just type in the chat window. Yep, so let's start. Anyone has any thought on top of your mind which you would like to share or talk about, or um, okay, so um, one of the aspect of facilitation is to empower the children to what they want to do and how they want to do. So if you see this Garfield cartoon, I guess it sums up uh, many of our, I would say, uh, many of the time we are operating from a result in our mind. When I bring a resource to the child, or when I bring a thought to the child, I already have I already have a certain image about that resource, that this is how it needs to be used. I have a certain image about the learning, that this is how much and how this learning needs to happen. I already have a certain expectations that by using this resource, or by doing this, or by talking this, child will learn this, and that's how the Garfield is responding, that it will turn ugly. And possibly many of the time children also may be responding, and it becomes very predictable that when I'm bringing something, when I'm presenting something, when I'm doing something, there is a certain motive behind it. And maybe that can switch off children from learning. Maybe that can switch off, I don't know whether it's switch off or not, but it definitely doesn't add value to the children's learning. So what we would be doing is to, yeah. So are you there with me on this thought that um, we need to come out of this expectation mode, and possibly the next activity we will experience that. So what we need to do is that uh, we'll play this game, all of us together, and what we do is that mm, I'll put one by one the activities, and those are simple activities. Uh, uh, so, so we'll do by turns. So suppose if it is Shrishti's turn, uh, Shrishti is the child in the class, and all others are the facilitator uh, to Shrishti. And when a facilitator is so any one of us can choose to be facilitator to Shrishti, and when I'm facilitating, I'm not facilitating only Shrishti, I'm facilitating the whole group. Am I clear the rules of the games? Okay, so let's begin. So the first I'll invite Shilpa. Shilpa, you are the child, and all of us as facilitator, and you have to do this activity. And the whole game is about next odd number. Okay, sorry, next number, and there will be different things related to that next number. And we'll begin with the number, and I'll give you the number. So except me, everybody else is playing this game. I'll be observing. So the game is I'll give you the number, and okay, so it's 11:52. So the number is 11. Okay. So Shishti, you are the child, and all others are facilitated to you. So you have to do this one. Yeah, anyone from the group can choose to be facilitator.
Okay, this is Nandini. Srishti, do you need any help?
So Nandini, now when you're
Do you know?
facilitating, you're facilitating. So now the all others are also the children, so you'll be facilitating the whole group. Yeah, Shrishti, you just need to do it. If you know the answer, you give the answer. Whatever. And whenever all of you think that you no more want to do facilitation on uh, this activity, I'll switch to this next activity. So once you give me the green signal, that next one, so then I'll go to the next one. So if anyone wants to facilitate Shrishti, or we are done with facilitating her. Okay, so the next one. Okay, so let me invite now Ritu. Ritu, you're the child, and the number is same 11, and others can facilitate you. Remember, all of us are excluding me. Uh, Anyone can raise hand to facilitate Ritu. And if the group feel that no more facilitation to Ritu, we can move to the next. Yeah. Okay, so all of you, when you see this, when you're a child, go ahead whichever way you would like to do it. There is no rule for that. You can give answer or not give answer or become a very difficult child. Be normal, whatever you can, and others, whenever they think they can, they want to facilitate you, they will pitch in. Yeah, and if the group feels next, just type next, one of you, I'll move ahead. Okay, so Shilpa, you're the child now. Okay, Shilpa, you're the child, and anyone else can raise hands to facilitate.
6 months. Okay, so my new batch. So you'll be 7th month pregnant.
Okay, Shilpa is the child, and go ahead and facilitate her. Um, and it's okay. Means feel free to facilitate her in many different ways, or the usual way, or whichever way. Means just attempt, do it.
Shilpa, can you hear me? Okay, everyone else is the child. So, are you familiar with the concept of square root?
No, I forgot. Square root.
Um, okay, so do you know what is a square of a number?
Yeah, I know square of a
Okay, so give me an example of any whole number square.
2 square is 4. So square of 2 is 4.
Right, right. Yeah. So do you have an idea of what would be the square root?
Square root of 4 will be 2,
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
Square root of
Yeah,
4.
that's correct.
is 2.
2. Yes.
So
Yes.
next odd
So,
number which
so
has
next odd number after 11 is the question. Um, so,
square root as whole number.
yes.
So but the square root of a odd number, how can it be a whole number?
Yeah, think about it. Think of more examples.
Square root of odd.
Why don't we make a list of squares of whole numbers? 1 square, 2 square, so we can get to the next odd number.
So just a reminder, Ritu, now you're facilitating all the children. Shrishti has given answer.
Srishti has answered, yeah.
Yeah, 25.
Srishti has
Sorry,
answered.
I saw it.
What do you all think? Do you think that is correct? Srishti's answer? Avinash also has answered. Square root of 13. Is square root of 13 a whole number? What is square root of 25? What would be square root of 13?
Okay, I was looking at 11, after 11.
After 11.
Okay, just a reminder, anytime you want to run away, you can say next.
Yeah, I'm done facilitating.
Okay. I never knew we don't we want to run away from teaching. That's a possibly primary job. We thought it's easiest things to do, right? To teach. Okay, so come next. Avinash, you are the child this time.
Easiest is to run away.
I thought teaching our children is the easiest thing. We can teach anytime. Okay, fine. So Avinash, you're the child this time.
Because we
Okay.
think we know everything, so it's easy to teach them.
Yeah, Avinash, you're the child. Anybody can, just for the fun of it, just raise your hand to facilitate. I'm. It's fun. It's fun to know ourselves. And just a
I
reminder, if you
forgot a match.
so just a reminder, if you know the answer, Avinash, feel free to answer it. Let facilitators do their job. So
Okay.
I guess next is the best thing, right? Okay. Okay, let me invite Kamal. Kamal, you're the child now. Okay. Um, Ritu, you are the child now. Am I missing somebody in the list? Anybody who's there and haven't got the chance to be a child? So just to clarify, who's the next child now? Okay, so I'll pause now here and would like to know what is that we are doing here. So all of you have, I guess, all of you have become child once. So how are you feeling, Shishti, when you were not able to get, or um, how are you feeling, Ritu, when you were able to get one after another one? And Yep. So there were different things, different answers, different responses. So let's share what's happening. As a facilitator, uh, uh, even if you were not speaking, you were still facilitator. So 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 what were you going through when? Yeah. So let's have some thoughts on.
This is Nandini. Uh, for me, before I announce here as okay, I will be the facilitator, I wanted to know the answer
Okay.
because I mean, I just realized I do this with my kid also. I have to know everything before I give him any.
Ah. Okay. Beautiful. Yeah. Okay. So you wanted to know before you wanted to be facilitator for that. Okay.
Yes, yeah, I was working on my sheet to know the answer before I say I'm the facilitator.
Okay.
Before knowing the answer, I just couldn't say no. I will be the facilitator.
Uh-huh. Yep. Anybody else? Shilpa, Avinash, Kamal, you would like to share? As a child, what were you thinking?
Uh,
Yeah, Shilpa.
yeah, as a child, when I was doing it, uh, if I did not know it, I asked that, I don't know, I've forgotten something.
Mm-hmm.
I asked for help and I needed it.
Mm-hmm.
And uh, as a facilitator, I would wait for the child to respond. And if the answer was correct, I would not, just observe. And only if I felt the answer was incorrect, he did not get the right answer, I would go and ask the child, that
Mm-hmm.
what is it and how did you go about it. But if the
Okay.
answer was matching, I would not even just ask anything.
Okay.
And
And
even
how?
I agree to what Nandini has said, that only if I knew the answer I would facilitate.
Okay.
So
And how were you feeling when you were not able to get square root? Means even though Ritu had explained to you, and there was another child, I guess Avinash or no, Shishti typed the answer 25. So how did you feel? You asked for the help and still you were not able to do it.
uh, yeah, I mean, I actually I didn't see the answer, but while I was doing it, I got the number.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, before I saw on the chat screen,
Mm-hmm.
I just then I had got the same answer, the same number.
Okay. Okay. Yep. Somebody else share as a child, as a facilitator. Yep. I'm going back to the same. Yeah. Yep. So Kamal Avinash, you took part. So Ritu, as a child, what were you feeling? What were you thinking? What were you doing?
As a child, I was excited to get maths problems, and and I was trying to do it as fast as I could. And um, I don't know. As a child, I was there was no pressure to how should I facilitate or anything. I was just trying to do the problem because it was interesting to me.
Okay.
But when I was facilitating, I was wondering if the child had any clue about what is being asked. At where do we need to start the slices which you were talking about facilitating, very thin slices. If it's an 8-year-old child, if it's a 10-year-old child, if it's a 15-year-old child, it depends on where you start, or it depends on what the child knows, or um, how the child is thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Does
Yep.
it need help or not? Should I
Okay.
wait? Should I wait or should I not wait? Should I jump in? Should I help? Am I helping too fast?
Okay.
uh, so the uh, I don't know. It was very confusing and challenging.
Oh, it was challenging.
Uh,
And how were you feeling when children were giving the right answer? Means there were some you were getting quick answers where we actually
that
didn't do anything.
didn't do anything. Yeah. So at those times, I was okay. The children already know, so there's no need to help them to get to the answer.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was thinking, how else can we expand or hang in there
Mm-hmm.
or be with the problem?
Okay.
Um, but I was still thinking. I was not sure yet as to how we could, expand the horizon and try
Yep.
to think more on the same line. Yeah.
Okay. 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 Thanks, Ritu, for sharing. Avinash, Kamal, would you like to share as a child, as a
As a child, I think maths being a favorite subject, it helps to again go back and do some things like this at a fast speed.
Okay.
But as a facilitator, yes, it was a difficult nut to crack because I will add to what Ritu said because same thoughts went through me. What assumption should I make? Whether the kid is really equipped to know some concepts or we have to go and start with it and we don't know. And if we start asking some basic questions, he may get disinterested too.
Okay.
In context of if I ask you whether you know additions, you say whatever you're saying.
Okay.
So those assumptions actually were killing me actually where to start and
Okay.
how to discuss that with the kid in the context of concept clarifications. And then should we come out with a story where you understand what factor is and what prime number is and should we have some objects and then tell why this is not divisible? The same way of how we go ahead and learn in context of maths. But facilitator is a difficult job when we try to assume things.
Okay, that's the case when Ritu and Avinash both are maths enthusiastic. So we should not have maths teacher who know maths. Does that should we conclude after two experiences? So it was difficult for the one who knew the maths to facilitate. So we should not. We should write in. If you want to facilitator, you should know. You should not know maths if you want to facilitate maths. Is that so, Avinash, Ritu?
Yeah, I think we should start with some base that yeah, these guys know plus or minus, and that's it, and then we can start and build over it.
Okay, so let's redefine our job qualifications as a facilitator. That not knowing more than addition and multiplication if you want to facilitate maths. Okay, so let me come back to where we were all of us. Is that exactly where that's where I went back and I opened this cartoon again. That uh, and that's consciously I have taken this maths activity because maths has a very supposed to be logical, yes, and right and wrong answers, and um, so where we were all either we were, I mean, not either, we were with the subject in the sense maths problem. If it is right, then we had not much to facilitate. Rather say we didn't have much to teach. If a child knows the answer, I don't need to teach, but there is a lot more I can do as a facilitator. And as a teacher, if I have given the concept, my job is done. But as a facilitator, my job starts when my job starts when the child, even a child knows about it or a child doesn't know about it. In both ways, my job remains same. So if you see the Garfield, and and that's what happens when we are with the subject. As a facilitator, when you were with the subject, when you were calculating the answer before even deciding whether I should facilitate or not. Somewhere the belief that I should know this answer, only then I can facilitate. In fact, so I'm questioning that belief. In fact, at Arohi, we say that if you don't know about the subject, you're going to be a good facilitator with the children because you are also learning with the children. You're also you're not teaching in that sense because you don't know what will you teach. You don't know, you can't teach that. Only thing which you can do is you can facilitate the child when you don't know much about the subject. So if you know much about the subject, disqualify yourself from teaching that subject to the child. So where we were, what else as a facilitator we could have done is it's a question remains in our ahead. As of now, I'm not giving the answer. I'm little more pushing you to think. I'm little more pushing you to see what is that you can do. So I have few more maths activity, and we'll do the same way, and then see. Even if the child is giving right answer, what role you can play. Even if the child is giving wrong answer, what role you can play. Even the child you don't know that uh, concept like factor or prime number, how can you facilitate? So is the facilitation is about knowing a certain subject and then transferring to the children, or facilitation is something beyond that. So let's discover that and let's go back to next set of activities. So rules remain same, child and facilitator, and let me invite this time, okay, Shilpa. Uh, you're the child this time. Yeah, starting number is 11. Okay, so try attempting facilitating, Shilpa. Uh, Also remember, facilitation and parenting is it's not a very serious job. It's fun. So let's have a little fun.
Shilpa, what is this unit sentence which they're talking about? Why is it called units and what is units and why is it called tens?
It is the position of the numbers. So they've given position to the numbers. If it is a one-digit number, it will go under the units place. And if it is a two-digit number, as in starting from 10, teens, 10, 11, then tens, then hundreds, it
So
becomes a
if it's a
three-digit number.
wait. If it's a two-digit number, then which position is what? Say for example 11.
So one is in the units place and one is in the tens place.
Which one?
Anyone you can take.
Okay, so let's say your answer 13. Which is the tens? Which is the units?
Units is 3 and tens is uh, 1. In the tens place it is 1 and in the units place it is 3.
Why is 3 called units and why is 1 called tens?
Because after 9 the number is 10. There are two numbers. So it starts from there. When you add 3 to it, so 3 will come in the units place and 1 will come in the tens place.
Uh, okay, okay. So why not 12? Why 13? Why not 14?
Yeah, because the value has to be 2 times more than what? So 1 plus 2 will be 3. So 1 and 3, that is what I have written. Value is 2 times greater than the first number.
Okay. Okay, why do you think 3 is called the units position and 1 is called the tens? Why not 3 is called the tens position and 1 is called the units?
Because when we write 10, it is 1 and 0. So from there it starts. The tens number starts from there. So that is the base.
Okay, so it is 10 units, so that becomes a 10.
Yeah.
Is that so? Okay.
Yes, yes.
Uh, Someone else help me out in facilitating. I can't think of anything else more fun. Srishti saying the child will get irritated.
I did not get irritated, Srishti. It was fun actually. Getting back
Yeah,
all the
especially
old
with 11.
concepts back.
Yeah. So if it's a 3-digit, what will happen, Shilpa?
It will be 100 because when it is 3 digits, it is 100. 100 is the first number which has 3 digits. 100.
Okay, just a reminder
So
to the
100.
facilitator, all others are also children now, not only Shilpa.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Uh, so how many numbers do we have? 1-digit numbers do we have? Anyone can answer.
But Ritu auntie, I thought 100 is the Polish number, no auntie?
Oh yes, yes it is. Uh, yeah, right. So how many digits do you know with how many numbers are there which are 1-digit numbers?
Yeah, you can always ask for next or you
Okay,
continue.
let me. Yeah, let. Okay. Okay. So if I asked you all how many chocolates you wanted, and if you had to answer in a 2-digit number, what would you all answer? Okay. Why 99? Okay. Okay. Right. I think we can move to the next one, Aditi.
Okay, this time Ritu is the child, so let someone else facilitate. And it's okay, Nandini, try facilitating Avinash. Yeah, Ritu, you're the child this time.
So correct answer.
Shall you next, Avinash? Okay, Avinash is the child this time, and rest others try to facilitate. Anyone who hasn't facilitated even single time, let's try. Let's try facilitating Avinash. So Nandini, without calculating, let's try facilitating Avinash.
Yes. Avinash, do you need any help? Avinash is a very good math teacher.
Check my answers.
Yeah, Avinash gave two more extra answer also.
Okay, so sorry, Nandini, you are the child now. Avinash, try facilitating her.
Okay. Oh, I thought the 12th one. I will go for the 12th one.
Okay. Hey, it's not your child, it's child.
Okay, Nandini, waiting for your answer.
Facilitator, you are math expert.
So Avinash, it's not only Nandini, you have all other children also with you.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Next number. Yeah, Nandini, you want any help?
Yeah, I don't have the answer right now. Well, it has only three factors, I guess.
Sorry, I think.
I think the answer is 12. Is it the right answer?
You've given three factors. Yes, few more multiplications.
Sorry?
Yeah, you're on the right track, but you have given me an answer which has three factors. You have to go on and give me an answer which is having more than five factors.
Avinash sir, what is a factor? I don't know what a factor is.
Yeah, I was also searching that. Okay. Okay, so factors for 12, let us start dividing it. So 12 is divisible by 1, so forget about the 1 part of it. But if I start with 2, I will divide 12 by 2. The remainder is 6. So the quotient is 6. Then I can divide 6 again by 2. The quotient is again 3. Then 3 divided by 2. The quotient is 1 with remainder 1. So I will not go with 2. I will take the next number. So that is 3. So again I will divide 3 by 3. Again the quotient is 1. And I have divided
Okay,
the entire number
so
to the
let's
least number.
so let's pause here and how are you feeling, Nandini? Shrishti is feeling confused. Nandini, how are you feeling?
Confused.
Confused.
Confused. Yeah,
I still
confused.
don't know what a factor is.
My facilitator is also confused.
Facilitator has learned what is factor by browsing in the Google just right now.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right.
Okay, so let's pause and reflect back here. What are we doing? Where are we? Are we still with the subject? Are we still with the maths right
Yeah,
now?
correct.
And many of us are not facilitating. Maybe the factor is a new term for us. Um, to explain what is a tense value, and it becomes even more difficult when it is online. When it is offline, so you can just put a notebook and write and then show this and this and that. Uh, uh, and then we think that like Avinash was in his flow of telling about what is a factor and how it is coming divided by 1 and 3 and 2 and 6. It becomes even more I will say dangerous when we are one to one with the child and mm, in a flow, and we think that we are teaching the child or where the child is getting something out of it, while the child has no clue. Child is not at all there with you. uh, can we also, Ritu and Avinash, I'm just muting you. There's a lot of background voice. Uh, can we? Another thing is that do we think that I facilitate only when the child need help? So. So some of the places where the children have, I mean, when the answers were given, we felt that there is no need for me to facilitate now anymore. Is there another myth that there's an image that okay, Avinash knows, so he will do it. Ritu knows, so she will do it. So we don't need to facilitate children like Ritu and Avinash in the maths class. So are we operating from some belief? Are we operating from some images? Um where are we connecting with the child? Are we even acknowledging the feeling? Where are what is the child feeling about this whole subject, about this whole calculations? um, so where are we? So I'm pausing here and I want you to think, and then we'll move ahead. So that's why. So are we forgetting that there is a peer group? There is a whole group which we are facilitating. So are we using peers to facilitate? In the group, there is a child who knows about it. There is another child who don't know about it. How are we using peers to facilitate, or we are only thinking that it's my job to facilitate? So I'm in my flow of. Mm, uh, to teach. Am I as a facilitator still with maths, and I'm saying this with emphasis on that am I still with the maths? Am I still with the subject matter? Am I with the child right now, or I'm with the subject matter? Yeah, Ritu, you want to share something? Can you come on the mic and talk more about it? What you're thinking?
Uh, yeah, Aditi, I don't think we were considering the child's feelings or using the peer group to uh, enhance everyone's learning as a whole, as a group. Um, and even when the child knows the answer, I think we could make them think in more ways, in uh, open more windows, even when they know one way of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Maybe help them picturize it, or
Mm-hmm.
give them objects which help them to come up to the same conclusion.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, somewhere you were trying in the digit you came up with the chocolates and all. Um,
Yeah.
but
Wording
somewhere,
problem.
somewhere were we targeting the subject only, or we were targeting something else? So
Partly the subject, but partly I was trying to make it more, versatile in terms of how else can I bring in the same uh, learning, or rather the same concept, or there are always parallels. I mean, whenever we're teaching something, it's always integrated. We're not teaching only maths or only science. I've noticed that a
yes.
lot of things come along.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
a lot
I'm
of things
there.
come together.
So I'm there
Yeah.
teaching the same concept. Is it that in the maths class I only need to teach maths?
No, it's not necessary to only focus on maths.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is that is there can be another way of expanding uh, the child's thinking by not bringing maths in maths class. I'm not talking about the bringing the same concept in many different ways. I'm saying bringing the same problem in many different concepts.
Yes, yes. Suppose we're doing a craft class, or even in a maths class, we could just take a piece of paper and scissors and tell them, how to make factors, or how to make a square root, or what does a square root mean, or how is it, how can we visualize it, in one of the MI ways. And we can even ask them about how they feel about a number. Say 13. I could say I don't like the number 13. Maybe I look for the next number
Okay,
which
yeah.
gives me the same answer.
Yep, yep. So
Or
one way is
and
to play around with the same thing. What Ritu you're talking about it. I'm asking you to go one step ahead. I'm asking you to not stay with the subject. Are you there with me? I'm saying forget about math at all. And that's the reason I'm saying it's okay if you don't know maths. You can still be a facilitator.
so you're saying we can deviate and just go explore a few other things and then come back, or
Tell me what will happen. Tell me what will happen when you come out of the subject. If I go back again to the Garfield, the cartoon which was there, I think I'll go back there. What will happen when I am out of my subject and I'm out of my teaching mode? Yeah, here is the Garfield.
I think I think we connect with the kid, and then the kid.
Avinash, we lost your audio if you were trying to speak something.
Yeah, yeah. So what I'm saying is we connect with the kid, and actually kid starts thinking and giving various answers which he thinks, and then the expansion automatically happens as and facilitator keeps on getting the feed which he wants.
Yeah, Ritu, you were saying something.
I think in this cartoon strip, I think Ben, is it? He wants to. He thinks that Garfield is a cat, so he likes to get into the paperback. That's his assumption, and he thinks he's making it fun for him, but it doesn't look in any way fun for the cat.
And
So,
yeah, so the moment you want to teach factors, whether by dancing or whether by singing, your ultimate motive is to teach me factor. Are you there with me?
yeah, yeah, and the child can sense that.
Yeah, that's what Garfield saying. I knew it
Whatever
was.
circus we're doing, yeah, whatever circus we're doing, if we have it in the back of our mind and we keep coming back to factors, it makes it kind of
Yeah, so if I go back to Shishti's
it
problem
will
of
develop a resistance, I feel.
Yeah, so if I go back to Shishti, your problem of sending your child to school, if your ultimate motive is to either solve a problem or to send the child back to school, child know everything is happening for something, some results. Can I just come out of the subject? Can I? So so so, so if you ask me, facilitation is a very easy job because uh, my job remains same. In a way, I have to do the same sets of things, whether it's a maths or whether it's a behavior or whether it's science so any subject you bring me, I can facilitate. I don't need to have the base value to facilitate. In the process
Are
of
you saying
yeah, sorry, yeah.
are you saying we just need to follow the child and let the child lead?
I'm not saying
I
one
mean,
thing. No, I'm not saying one thing. I'm saying many things. Okay, so don't. So I'm not asking you to define the facilitation in one definition. In fact, there are 250 different ways where I can. I sometimes I can lead the child. Sometimes I can ask the child to lead. Sometimes I can push the child. Sometimes I can relax and observe the child. Sometimes I can be little
right.
firm with the child. Sometimes I can, be lenient with the child. So there are many different ways. As I don't have image of a facilitator. I don't have any one image by which I operate. Sometimes I bring resources, sometimes I don't bring resources, sometimes I agitate the child, sometimes I give different resources, not one resource, but 10 different resources. Sometimes I teach maths as in maths process. Sometimes I come out of the maths and then start talking about something like I think Aparna gave that 100 is the number of police or something. I can build around that and I can move ahead in that. Sometimes I can learn first I can go and learn about the factor, and then I can go and teach the child what is the factor. Sometimes I can use the peers to teach the child. Sometimes I can do the circus, as you said. So I'm saying my job is not one, but the insight which I want to bring out here is that the moment I have a motive to teach, child knows it's going to. No matter what you do, you will be only satisfied when I learn this, and child get the and we prove it because the moment child gives the right answer, 25, I'm no more interested in facilitation now. I want something else. I want a next problem. I want a next stage of something. Uh, so facilitation is not to take the child in subject matter to a certain limit, but the facilitation is to empower the children. So today the child needs my help in factor. Tomorrow child will not need my help in factor. So when a child comes to me to learn about the factor, I will first, or maybe as one of the way would be to sit, understand, as Ritu was trying in the beginning, and but here, how can I now empower the child so the next time child doesn't need me to even do all these things? Then I have to look for something else so I can facilitate. So I'm not facilitating in one way, but I'm facilitating in many different ways. Yep. Am I making any sense out here? So I have few more activities. I'm not doing it right now. Yeah. Yeah. Any thoughts?
So it's like there are 100 different ways to facilitate, and we don't need to always, we need to relax and not always be goal oriented that we have to, teach factors today. And even if we don't end up teaching factors, if we are facilitating properly, the children are learning quite a few other things,
Is the
which
is
might not be,
yeah?
related to factors or maths.
But what is that children are learning? Is that our ulterior motive to at least teach
Children are
something?
learning to explore, help them to explore on their own.
What if the child doesn't learn anything?
No, it always does learn something. I have noticed that they come up to conclusions on their own. It might not be related to maths or whatever we are trying to teach,
Yeah.
but they keep, I found this and I found that, and that might not be our goal, but then children are learning all the time.
Yeah, yeah. So I think I'll go back to the slide where I have put again the Garfield. Sorry. Yeah. So this is highlighted in a different color. What is facilitation is to empower children. So um, can I assume the role of a facilitator to empower? And to do that, I whether it's doesn't matter which subject I'm teaching, whether I'm teaching maths or whether I'm teaching English, or whether behavior or moral values or meditation, can I constantly work with a frame of mind that my role is to empower, my role is to not to, because more or less children subject matter they learn, means whether I taught my child to walk or not, child has learned how to walk. Whether I taught my child to speak or read and write, child has learned. Means so one way is to teach, one way is to let the child do. So in any which way the child is learning, right? So then what's my role? My role is not to do what the child is capable of doing. My role is to empower the child, and as a facilitator, as a parent, as a I will say as a guide, whatever role we want to play in child's role, is that can I constantly think to empower the child, um, rather reach to some to reach somewhere in some subject matter. I guess that's what is all about facilitation. In fact, I have seen children in Arohi, because they have the freedom to reject a facilitator, reject in the sense they can always say that I don't need your help. And I have seen children um, that they just don't need any one of us. They know, means my own son, you just can't facilitate him, because when he is into his work, you just can't do anything with him. But when he needs you, then you can't do anything, because then he will get something out of it. But when he comes to me or to facilitate for the help, uh, we are not saying, okay, now we'll come and now we'll teach you. Rather, we empower him, so for the next time, even for this, he doesn't need to come to us. So every time we are moving ahead with him on empowering himself to figure it out, to try out, to sometimes we push him, sometimes we agitate him, sometimes we help him, sometimes we guide him, sometimes we together do it, sometimes we direct him to the another peer, and then he comes out with his own feelings about certain things, about responses to different things. And then actually, like I facilitate in 250 ways, the child also responds in 250 ways, and which is all fine for and that's how we both move ahead. And then that's how we can see that the child who was coming to help, say for example, how do I switch on the computer, or my laptop is switching off again and again. If I can sit with the child and then say when it happens, how it happens, where all it happens, which laptop is happened, what you do, and the kind of thing. When I can make the child think through his own thinking, next time child has at least experienced that, yeah, I can do this much by myself, and that's where I need the help. Now the next stage, the child will come to help in the next stage, and then can I constantly think about empowering. And then when I think of empowering, actually I don't stop, because for me the right answer, even if the child is given the answer right as 25, I will actually not stop, because my job is not to get the right answer. My job is to empower the child. My job is to agitate the child. And I think that's where I'll go back to my first slide and put you, and then see what is the father doing out here. I want you to read and then see what is that father doing here. Yep. Any thought after reading this cartoon strip. Yep, anyone would like to share, and then we would be concluding today's session and continuing. I think one of the thing in this is he's doing is he's really enjoying what is. So father is really on his trip, the child is on his trip, and the more father is confusing the child, more child is with I don't need. It's not my job to keep the child with the subject matter. The child is himself is with the subject matter. He's so confused because he's getting such confusing answers from the parent, and it's a beautiful, I will say, one of the way to facilitate is to confuse them. So even if the child says that 25, as at some, I guess some of you did try to confuse the child, but finally we landed up reaching towards a right answer. Another belief, another image about the right and wrong answer, that if I tell the wrong answer to the child will all the life will learn that wrong thing. But if you see here that he's constantly giving some irrelevant answers to the child, and the child is constantly thinking actually quite relevant, that how it lands up there, then how it is east and where is west, and how the size, and somebody will burn, and the red color is because of the red color of look at the beauty of it, how child is responding and how the father is responding. uh, yeah, any thoughts on facilitation?
Yeah, that's Avinash here.
Yeah, Avinash.
Yeah, I think this is a very beautiful way of looking at it, but I've not tried it with my kid in terms of confusing him. But yes, I play games. Irrelevant answers are given. But I do it with my master's program also, where I teach my MBA and executives. I do this, and I certainly do this, but they come with a strong belief, and they come with a very different mindset where they're looking for an answer from me, and I never give it. And I after some time I understand the base are not clear, then I really work out my base and then try to give out real-time examples of kitchen, which is the best place where I correlate all my examples to. And then they learn from it, they answer it, they enjoy it. But at the end of the day, when it comes to syllabus and completion of syllabus as per the university, I really am a very bad faculty in the college where I'm tagged to, where I cannot complete my syllabus.
Yeah, actually, if you ask me, this whole myth about completing syllabus is also something which I think we need to relook into it, because if you ask me, there is a lot more child is capable of learning by himself. So what is that? I am playing a role. So maybe I'm not taking much about it right now. Uh, I'll leave it to the individual um, to discover about that. Uh, like if you go back to the first activity, to do the basic activity, actually child didn't need anyone's help. Okay. Yep. Any other thought? So Avinash, I would also like you to rethink about this completing the syllabus, or what role are you playing? Which perspective are you working with them? And believe me, any age you are working, you can work through facilitation. You can come out of uh, uh, I doubt, Ritu. I'm on my spree to break all the beliefs and myths about it. I don't have to be child. I have to be myself. That's all. Uh, 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 it's a myth that I need to go with the flow always. I need to be a child. No, I can be myself. It's actually torture on me to be I will say to believe to to expect from me that I'll be child always. No, I'm not a child always, and I'm very actually as a facilitator, I clarify to the children that I have my own limitations, and that's where I guess the Carl Rogers talk about the facilitation that we do have our own limitation. We have our own emotions, we have our own needs. So I cannot be child and I cannot match up with their energies. So I want Ritu you to think about it that that is it really true for a facilitator? Yep, Shilpa, you want to share something?
Yeah, as a facilitator, it is okay if I am confused and if I confuse uh, children also.
So
That's what I think.
okay.
I mean, it is okay to be confused. I mean, since a long time, I've been carrying this belief that, I always have to be right. I don't have to confuse my child if the child is confused. And it's so relieving, to know that, yeah, it's okay if I am also confused and if I confuse my child also. So
Yep, I don't need to be
somewhere
always.
I can, yeah, and I can actually feel, that I'm so free if I'm, out of that belief that,
Yeah, and I don't have to project that perfect image in my front of my child that all adults are learned people. While I can't be the child but I can always be a learner. There are thousands and millions of things which I don't know, so then I can always be a learner. Not necessary learner as a child, but yeah, Shilpa. So I can be confused. I can be not knowing as simple as what is a factor or square root. There are many things which I don't know. So I need to be genuine about it. I need to be a learner. Yep. So here is some more. I think we have actually covered in our um, questioning session, but just to repeat it. Um, uh, the third last one, discourage immediate answer. I actually do that a lot in my sessions. If the answers are coming immediately, I ask them to pause. I ask them to keep their questions in their hand. Use different tools to stay with, even if you know the answer, because answer is uh, mm, uh, not that what I'm looking for. And yep, and keep encouraging, keep asking, keep questioning, keep encouraging yourself. So it's not so difficult facilitation. Yep, and that's my concluding slide on facilitation. Here, this child is, I think it's little cut. This child is showing the mirror to the man. Okay, so let's close it. It's already beyond one. And anything you want to share, or else we'll be continuing with facilitation next session also. and hopefully explore some more aspects of facilitation. Yep. So have a nice day, nice week ahead. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.